everyone. Welcome to episode 2 of the InstaBizCoach podcast. This is your host, Annabelle Martinez, and in this episode, we are going to talk about how to start your business. If you already have a business or you already have a business idea, you know that that idea is not leaving your head. So, the next step to do is to start planning or start building it out. This business is going to be a little piece of you out in the world. So every single decision that is made for the business, it's going to come from you. So I want you to get excited and I want you to start thinking about other businesses that are similar to yours. Go on Pinterest, go on Instagram, go on TikTok, Facebook, look up a business that you admire and start getting ideas of what you like that they do and what you don't like that they do. Now, let's say you are on the steps of you have this business idea and you're like, okay, where do I get started? I know that there might be a need for it, or you're like, I'm just going to start this. No one has ever heard of it. You want to either start online where you don't have a storefront, or you can start doing pop-up events, right? Have you heard of any farmers markets, or if there's any pop-up markets that they have for small business owners? You should try to do that. I highly recommend it, because then you can see, okay, there is a lot of demand for my product here. Or you can say, hey, let me try this pop-up market in the city. Maybe there's a higher demand for it there. Hey, let me try to sell online, because you never know. There might be people shopping in other cities for your product. You can add it on Etsy. You can create your website on Shopify. That is what I would highly recommend. And that is considered all testing the market and also getting your business started. So a lot of people that do pop-ups, they're like, yeah, I don't know, my business isn't open yet. And I'm like, no, your business is open. You have a business. It's up and running, and it's as full of a business as it can be. A lot of people think, oh, just because I have, I do events, or I only do catering services, or I only do cakes sometimes, is not a real business. It's like, yes, it is. So you need to treat it like one, and you also need to make sure that it's running like one. So in this episode, I'm going to tell you how I run my businesses and how you should be running your business as well. Okay, let's say you have your business idea. You're like, now I need a name. You can't even really make an Instagram or Facebook without a logo and a name and your brand identity. Your brand identity is your color scheme, your fonts, all the different variations of the logos. And you want to make sure that you can do this yourself on Canva. I mean, I did it myself, but I do have experience with graphic design, which also helped me a lot. However, we do have experts, graphic designers now on InstaBizCoach that will help you with the logo process. They'll help you with your brand entity. They'll help you with your website design. That'll help you with your social media accounts. All of that falls under your brand identity. Now, it's okay if you have a logo that you designed or the colors aren't perfect. It's okay, because you can change that in the future. Remember that your business is a long-term relationship. This business is going to last, I want to say 5 to 10 years minimum. So think of it that way, where you're like, maybe I could change the logo in like a year or two, right? Once you start making more money, you can hire a graphic designer. You could change that in the future, but you definitely need to have some sort of brand, right? You have your logo now, you have your brand colors, you have your, your phone number, you have your Gmail account, you have your business domain. So now you have your online presence set up. You don't have to have your Google business, because technically you aren't incorporated yet, right? Once you incorporate, let's say you've been doing it for a few months, you have some events, or you have a few clients, and you're like, okay, this is good. I think I want to continue doing this. Let's go ahead and incorporate. You have to make sure every state is different. You want to make sure that you're incorporating. You want to make sure that you do your research, whether you want it to be a sole proprietorship, which pretty much falls under your personal social security number, or you could do your LLC, S Corp, C Corp. There's a lot of different options. I would highly recommend talking to an accountant and working with them, especially if you're selling products. You have to charge sales taxes, okay? In Chicago, the sales tax is 10.25%, I believe. So every time I sell a juice at my juice bar, I have to pay that 10.25% sales tax. So You don't want to go ahead and apply later in the future and then, try to ring up all the products that you purchase, all the machinery that you use. And they're like, well, you didn't even have a business incorporated. So that's not going to be able to be applied to the business. As soon as you need to buy something big, like let's say over $500, I would say incorporate. And from your incorporation process, your branding, your logo, your website, all of that should really be under $500 as well. So once you start selling, or you're investing more than $500 in your business, you need to incorporate, because it's also important to incorporate in case you apply for a grant in a few years, right? Or let's say something else happens, like COVID, where they were giving grants left and right. A lot of businesses weren't incorporated, or they didn't incorporate by X date that the grant was valid for, and they missed out on it, and they should have just incorporated. So it doesn't hurt to incorporate. Let's say your business, you don't want to continue the business, or something happens, you can always dissolve it. Don't worry about it. It's not permanent. Your business, you could just dissolve it in the future if it doesn't work out, or if you want to change the name, or if you change your partnerships. That is what happens. So let's talk a little bit about partnerships. Let's say you want to go into business with somebody. It's a friend, usually, right? Family member, someone else that has the same idea as you. You're like, let's just do it together. I'm going to make an episode on this, probably talking about my partnership experience and how it traumatized me, but also made me learn so much about what are the right partnerships for you. Now, remember, partnerships can be business partner where it's two people under the LLC, right? And you're splitting it 50-50. Or it could be a partnership where it's like, oh, hey, this is the business, this other business supplies my, supplies for my products. Those are also your partners. They're just not partners on your LLC. So they don't really matter, because those partnerships, you could be like, okay, I no longer want to, work with you guys. I'm going to go work with another provider. That is fine. You need to worry about the partnerships that you are signing into your legal documents. I really don't recommend anyone going into partnership with someone else that can do the exact same thing that you're doing. So let's say you're making cakes and they also make cakes, and you're like, well, who's going to run the accounting side of it? Who's going to run the website side of it? Who's going to run the getting customers, the sales side? That is what you need help with, right? You don't need help making cakes. You could just hire someone to make cakes. You need help with expanding your business. So if you have a good business, but usually the business partnerships that work best are tech partnerships. So you have a tech business. One person does like the fundraising, one person does all the running and managing of the business, and the other one does all of the tech side of it, right? They do all of the builds out of the website, the build out of the app, they manage all the tech people. So that is why it is those partnerships are needed. But when you're starting a business, you can hire people in the future. You could bring on a partnership in the future. I would always do 100% you. I am the 100% owner of all my businesses right now. And for the time being, until we franchise, or if, we sold stock in the business. But for right now, I love going 100%, and I recommend everybody do 100%. And if they are going to do a partnership, they need to get an attorney. So that is another expense, and that is also just a little bit of a bigger headache when it comes to starting a business, because you really want to make all the decisions, and when someone else starts telling you, I don't know, you get discouraged. You really get discouraged, and you're like, well, it's not even my business. Why am I so stressed out and putting in so much effort when really it's their business, because they made the decision. So if you do go into a partnership and it's 50-50, you need to say who has the final say in a decision, and you have to write that in a contract. We'll talk more about finding legal aid and having a good attorney and writing contracts in another episode. But for now, that is the most we're going to touch base on for partnerships. All right, great. So now you have your business incorporated, and you can start applying for your business banking account. Congratulations. You now have a bank account. You can go to any bank. You just take your LLC or your sales tax information, and they open an account for you. And then you can say, okay, great. Now I can add myself to the a payment processing system. Where are my payments going to come? How am I going to track all these payments? How am I going to see what money is coming in and out? And I highly recommend making sure you have a separate banking account for your business. So you make sure all those payments come through only that account and payments go out only through that account. Because once you start mingling and crossing, it just gets more confusing for you and you're going to end up paying double for an accountant to fix all of that. Trust me, accountants don't like messy numbers. And if they see messy numbers, they're like, that's fine, I'll do it, but I'm going to charge you more. So it's better that you do everything separate early on than later on. And now you have your business account and you have your POS system that you have to decide to use. I've used pretty much all POS systems from Clover, Square, Cash App Drop, and now I have Toast for my kitchens for the juice bars.
And I recommend it to all of our restaurant clients. I use it at my juice bars, and it is the best system for a restaurant. You can use it for the kiosk mode, you can use it for the back end kitchen display, you can use it as a mobile device when you go to events or if you have a food truck. Reach out to Toast. They have the best customer service. I can contact them via chat, I can call them, I can email them, and they will respond within an hour. So if you are a restaurant owner and you're looking for a POS system, we highly recommend the Toast POS. You can find the link in our description below the podcast.
And I have Square for the other businesses, and then I use Wix for the tutoring center. So Stripe, Wix and Stripe are connected, and that is the account that I made for them. So we at InstaBizCoach, the coaches, we help you with deciding these, right? If you're a hairstylist, you can use Booksy, right? Or you can use Calendly. Or if you are, we work with a lot of firms as well, like agents, like real estate agents. There's a lot of platforms that they can use to gather the customer's information and also email marketing, right? So these are things that you start to think about once you start getting new customers, new clients, and now you get their information in the system, you get their emails, their phone numbers, and you're like, okay, great. Now I think I got my business flowing a little bit smoother. I don't have to deal so much with the customers. I can focus more on creating more products and making it more affordable, let's say, and making more bundles, different package options that you can do. So looking for a storefront. These are things that happen after you get that online platform set up for your business and you have a little bit more time. It's pretty much like you hired someone to be your scheduler. And it gets even more advanced once you create your website. Let's say you're selling a product. You're like, hey, I want to add it online now. I want to start shipping online. We can go ahead and set you up with through the InstaBiz coach. The coaches can help you set up your website, set up your Shopify, set up your TikTok shop, and you can start selling your products not only in person, but also online. And that is when you're really going to see, oh, wait a minute. I guess I do need marketing because the in person, it's more guerrilla marketing. You say, okay, I'm gonna go pass out flyers, I'm gonna go to an event. And that is what I'm facing with the juice bar in Mexico. It's like, oh, we don't even have delivery services. I can't rely on them to bring me customers like I do here in the juice bar in Chicago, because most of our customers are for the delivery services. So over there, I was like, I need to print out flyers and, little handouts and make events. And that's what I'm doing over there. And it's so much fun, but it's totally different than my business here. And every single business is different, which is why some business you see a lot of marketing online. That's because a lot of their customers are online. So once you start selling online, you're going to be like, oh, wait a minute. I can sell to California. That means I need to go do some marketing in California, right? Online. You're not going to go to California and do marketing. You're going to do it online. So that is when you start doing the SEO, the search engine optimization, when you start doing ads. So it's important to create your personal account and then go ahead and make that business account and connect it to Instagram. So every single time that you make a post, it'll be connected to both. And that is how you streamline your business. All of this we'll get more into in the marketing courses in our marketing podcast episodes. But that is why you see these businesses investing so much in marketing, is because they're making a big profit from them because of the online sales. So if you are just starting in person, I don't want you to worry too much about marketing. I want you to focus more on your brand and making sure that your logo is visible and that your everything, that people know how to find you, and that they can, your Instagram name is connected to your Facebook name, and that they're all the same. All of your domains, your business, all of that should be structured and flowing before you even open a storefront. So please, guys, don't think so much about opening a storefront, because then you're only thinking about that. And right now you need to focus on your product and how you're going to start and how the business is going to flow. Because when you have a storefront, you don't want to be there 100% of the time, right? That's the goal. I'm not at my storefronts at all anymore. But I've noticed that a lot of businesses, even being in business 20, 50 years, they're still there every single day, and they're like, I was never able to step away because I didn't trust my employees. And it breaks my heart because I wish I could guide them and say, you just need to add a camera and then you'll be fine. So little things like that is what we do as business consultants to help business owners advance and feel less stress and really enjoy the process of being a business owner. So if you're an entrepreneur, you have an idea, or you already have your business flowing, you just need a little bit of help, make sure to follow the InstaBizCoach. Make sure to follow the InstaBizCoach podcast or visit us at instabizcoach.com. Book a session with one of our coaches or take a course where you can learn everything from starting your business to marketing to selling your business. I hope you enjoyed this episode, and I can't wait for you guys to hear the next one.